John Fedro here. Thanks for watching. We are back with another viewer's reader mail. This is a four-part, multi-part question, but I think the question is really good. It just came into me last night. The question goes, John, in my limited experience, Craigslist is swarmed with sales and retail-priced mobile homes. So if I go to a mobile home park, are management and the mobile home tenants open to investors? I guess what I'm really asking is if I go to a mobile home park, how difficult would it be to pick up a mobile home? Are there for sale signs around? And are people usually willing to sell or not so much? And that's a great question. That's a big, long question, and some really good points in there that I want to talk on. Now, I could expound on each of these questions for an hour or more, which I do in my training, to really give you clarity of what I've seen over the past few years. But I want to still give you clarity in this video with regards to all of those questions. And those are some big, powerful questions. So let's sort of work our way from the last question back up. The last question was, are people usually selling or not so much? Now that's a really good point. Are people usually selling in a mobile home park? Well, mobile home investing isn't just a numbers game. In fact, it's less of a real estate business, more of a people business. So it's not just the quantity of homes you have around you, the quantity of homes for sale. It's the quality of how you react to those sellers, how you talk to those sellers, you contact them, what offers you make, and you following up. Now, I don't just want you being the expert in your local area. And what I mean by that is I don't want you being the expert in just your county or just your small city or town. I want you to be the local expert, not only in your county, but the surrounding counties as well. That way, obviously, the more inventory you have, the more opportunity you have to deal with park managers, to deal with other investors, to deal with realtors and other dealers. And obviously, parks, the more inventory you have, the more opportunity that you will have. And when people think about mobile home investing, what do I want to do with this mobile home? I want them to think of your name. Now, obviously, right now, nobody may know how you can help them or that you even exist. But over the course of 90 days, with specific marketing and with daily action 5 days a week, people will really start to see that you're the person that's going to be there. You don't just say one thing and do another. You actually follow through and you're here to stay. So when people have a mobile home that they need to sell, want to sell, they're going to call you. Also, it's important to note that sellers, depending on when they need to sell, whether they need to sell this week, they need to sell in 3 months from now, or longer or shorter than that, it takes time for sellers to develop for a good deal to become a great deal. And we don't just simply find deals, they don't fall in our lap, we create them. So realize that having this wide net that we cast, being known in not only your county but the surrounding counties, that's how we can develop a sustaining business where we're cherry picking deals we want to do every month and we're closing at least a deal every single month. And once we close a deal, we don't have to then go back to the drawing board to go ahead and find a new one, start over from scratch. We already have people and sellers and buyers in our selling and buying funnel. That's what makes a real estate investing business, not just sort of a hobby or a one-hit wonder. I hope that that made sense, because that's a very important thing to note, that yes, there are homes for sale. In what supply and what demand, that's obviously depending on the area, but casting that wide net, no matter if you're on the East Coast, West Coast, North, South, the middle of the country, where you are, you can make this business work if you're well known in throughout not only your county, but the surrounding counties as well. And that takes about 3 to 6 months to become really well known in your area, with daily consistent action, that's specified action. The third question now in this four-part, multi-part question is, are there for sale signs around? Most parks, over 95% of parks, they will allow the owner-occupants to put signs in their yard or signs in their window. Very rarely will a park say that all sales have to go through the park office and there's no for sale signs. That's typically usually a 5-star park, meaning it's the highest ranked park from 1 star to 5 stars. That's a 5-star park. They don't want their image to be soiled with for sale signs. So that typically is there. Either way, it doesn't matter. The homes are still for sale. The next question is, I guess what I'm really asking is, if I go to a mobile home park, how difficult would it be to pick up a mobile home? Now, I've been doing this for over 10 years, and it's very simple. In fact, mobile home investing, I'll be the first to admit, is not the end-all, be-all of real estate. I think of it as the seasoning of my real estate business. Now, I do dabble in other forms of real estate, but by far what I'm doing is purchasing and reselling manufactured homes on their own land, inside parks, and they've been so commonplace to me. I know my areas, even I know areas around the country. I know what to offer, I know what not to offer, I know what to say. The paperwork is simple. We create them, the paperwork we need, we buy the home, we resell the home, and that's because we know what buyers will already pay. You have to know what buyers will pay even before you make a purchase offer to sellers. And then when you do that, when you've done a couple dozen deals, when you've done just a handful of deals, you really understand that, yes, this is a repetitive business. It's not jumping up and down exciting all the time, because we know that when we go to a certain number of homes, on a certain number of appointments, we talk to a certain number of sellers and make a certain number of offers, we're going to close deals, and they're all going to be profitable. Because again, we know what to sell a mobile home for. Not just think we know what we can sell it for, but absolutely know what we can sell that manufactured home for, whether it's on a park or on land. I hope that made sense. I can talk fast sometimes, so if you have any questions or comments or concerns, email them to me or comment below. And the last question, which is the first question that this investor sent over, was, in my limited experience, Craigslist is swarmed with sales and retail price mobile homes. So if I go to a mobile home park, are management and the tenants open to investors? Well, the tenants, the people that you're going to be buying the homes from, they are almost always, 99% of the time, open to investors. Very rarely I can remember when a seller was not open to an investor, and that's because they've been burned by an investor in the past, and they sort of just wiped their hands with the deal. And that's okay, because that wasn't a top priority seller, and if they ever did need any help, we definitely parted as friends. But let's talk about the mobile home park management or mobile home park owners. Well, the majority of parks, they will want to work with you. And I do another video and another article about the 3 types of mobile home park managers. There's 3 types of park managers. The first one that we'll talk about is the park manager that really, really wants you there. You go in, you introduce yourself. By the way, the introduction to a park manager is not something to be taken lightly. It's not something to do over the phone. It's not something to just wing one day. You want to practice this sort of script or format in front of a mirror, because this is sort of a make or break decision. The park manager can really, really be your best friend and help you out. Or if they're confused, they don't understand, they get a wrong feeling from you, a bad vibe, then that will be a negative and a detriment to your business moving forward. And remember, park managers are people just like you. The only reason why we're there in that park is not to be their friend, not to take them out on a date. It's to help them. It's to increase park revenue, maybe bring in some mobile homes, clean up the park, help the park manager as best we can. So let's loop back around, and when you're going into the park manager's office, you introduce yourself, bring clarity to what you're doing and how you can help, and build some rapport. The first group of park managers out of the 3 that we're going to talk about are the ones that they see you and you're just, there's a dollar sign on your head. They have been waiting for you to come in there. Maybe they've worked with an investor in the past, or they have some homes they've gotten back through abandonment or eviction, homes that they've just been sitting on, and they see you as a godsend. Maybe not a dollar sign on your head, they're good people, but they see you as a value, and they take your hand and they put you in their golf cart, and they go and show you right then and there what they have for sale. And they will help you, and they will give you concessions, this, that, and the other. We can talk about on a different video, but that's the first type. And that's sort of the, out of the ranking, the majority, that's sort of right in the middle. Now, the next group that we're going to talk about, this is the majority of park managers that you're going to talk to. You're going to go into the park, introduce yourself, give our script that we do, build some rapport, and they're going to be indifferent. They're going to say, yeah, you can do that here. Just make sure you get approved, make sure you don't rent, make sure you sell. They have to get approved. Things that you've already told the park manager. And yeah, there's, fine. Drive through the park. Don't, disturb any of the tenants, and let me know if you need anything. And they're just, logical, indifferent sort of about it. And once you do 1 or 2 deals in that park, then they'll really sort of see, oh, this is a person who they say they're going to do what they're going to do, and they actually do it. So that's the majority of park managers. That's the majority of park owners. They want you there, but they're not going to get overexcited. They're rational, and let's see what you got before I sort of invest my time. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. And the minority of mobile home park managers, they don't want you there because they don't want the competition. Now, this doesn't happen often. Less than 8% of the time, less than 7 or even 6% of the time. It's not just based on what I have to say in my experience. That's based on folks that I've helped around the country. The majority of park managers that don't want you there, occasionally there's some sort of corporate policy where you have to live in the home that you purchase, but more oftentimes it's actually the park manager is buying and selling mobile homes and they don't want the competition. So if that's the case, and remember, when you're going there, you're actually pre-screening the park manager. Not only are they pre-screening you, and I don't mean credit or anything like that, but you're pre-screening the park manager, because if they're grumpy, if they're moody, if they're snappy towards you, and you just walked in there and they're just having a bad day, I mean, that's a little bit understandable. But if they're really being rude or greedy or someone that you do not want to deal with, there's plenty of other parks out there that can want and need your help. So you don't have to take, any sort of anything that you don't want from a park management. Remember, this is somebody that you're going to create a not lifelong relationship with, but for the next few years, you're going to create quite a good relationship with them. They can help you with your business. They can feed you deals. And this is somebody that you want to work with. So I hope that all made sense. We covered a lot of stuff in this video. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Email us support@mobilehomeinvesting.net, or you can visit the site mobilehomeinvesting.net. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day.